Shu didn't expect to see her. After a hearty dinner they go to bed together.
Touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
Kizara kisses Shu, activating his devil form and returned to Kizara and they left together. Kizara approaches the apartment, but it's locked and no one seems to be home. Somehow she manages to get in and quickly starts cooking food for her boyfriend. Only the boyfriend is not home, and neither is the electricity in the apartment. Shu is at a meeting with attractive prospect Ayano. After not seeing food for weeks the guy can't stop until he finishes eating everything. Ayano is Shu's ex-girlfriend and they used to work together, so they work together from time to time out of old friendship, if you know what I mean. He's about to leave, but Ayano notices that Shu doesn't live alone and that he can get by without her handouts, which makes him think about taking the job Ayano offers him. She pays for his lunch, moreover she wants to call him for the next meeting. Hearing a positive answer, she can't hide her joy. Only for non-payment of taxes the guy's phone is blocked. The girl wants to call so much that she takes the bills to pay. When he returns home, he finds candlelight dinner and Kizaru waiting for him all day and cooking dinner. Shu didn't expect to see her, especially since she doesn't have the key, but he's not very hungry so he doesn't even want to taste the girl's food, which makes him depressed. Even though the food has long since gone cold, he has no choice but to eat it all. She hugs him, but the guy has a look of horror on his face and not in vain. She smells another girl but the guy says it's the smell of passers-by. After a hearty dinner they go to bed together. What a horror, she is still a schoolgirl. Kizara prepares to go to heaven. The teams begin to meet to eliminate the unknown creatures that are taking over the humans and creating havoc. After the conditions are announced, the teams are given time to indicate for how much money they are willing to eliminate the revealed creature. Guy indicates the lowest amount of reward and gets that elimination order. The guy and Ayano enter the building, while the soldiers destroy the poor harmless dogs. The guy tries to get closer to the main monster. After a flashback, the guy gets close enough and shoots the monster at point-blank range and finally grazes its body, except it doesn't help and it recovers quickly. Kizara comes in at the last moment and saves the guy from being killed. She tries to attack the monster but he is stronger than the poor schoolgirl and throws her back. They perform a ritual after which Kizara acquires a new form of the devil. The girls decide to find out who she belongs to and destroy innocent dogs. The guy hurries to remind the girls why they're here. But it was a big mistake as Kizara goes on the attack against the guy accusing him of cheating. The girl wants to get the key to Shu's apartment so she doesn't have to go through the doors like today. In order to stay alive, the guy has to fulfill the girl's demand and give her his keys to the apartment. Just look at Kizara's face, how little she needed to be happy. Then in a matter of seconds they managed to get rid of the monster, who was standing quietly and didn't understand what was going on. Everything ends almost well. Their romantic idyll is interrupted by a building collapse caused by Kizara's destruction and they have to flee the building. Kizara enters the apartment using not her powers, but the key he gave her, and while he sleeps in his bed, she takes off her clothes and lies down next to him, taking a picture of their first day together. In order to solve their money problems, Shu comes to Ayano's room to work part-time for their company.
And then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me, and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me, and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction.
Ayano almost agrees not to tell Kizara that he came to her, but then he notices a post of a schoolgirl sleeping in bed with Shu with almost no clothes on, which makes him furious and almost shreds him into atoms. Mayor is going to hold a meeting and make an appeal. The Secret Service became aware of the preparation of the incident at this meeting, so they asked Ayano's mother's company to liquidate the attacker without an auction, since there was no confirmation of the presence of the Devil's Scourge. It's a great opportunity for Shu to make money, except the money goes straight to the means of catching monsters. It was their money for the month. The suspected attacker possesses the diabolical scourge and almost gets to the measure, but Kazara prevents him from showing up in front of hundreds of regular people at the last minute. After a short pursuit, the couple manages to find the monster, but he takes the opportunity to discuss how they can live without money for a month and escapes again. Absolutely by chance, while the demon is landing on the ground, he is hit by a courier who brings him the means of catching the demon, which will not run away. A boy wakes up from a nightmare that reminds him of how he lost his entire family in the devil's attack. Takes a picture of his family and discovers a new member. Kazara has put her picture in a frame with the others and can't get the picture off. At the station there is an emergency situation. One of the employees wants to steal a special core that can provide electricity to the city for the whole week. The thief is cornered and there is nothing left for him but to use the power of the devil's disaster. Because of this, the power is cut off in part of the city, but our couple is not used to such a situation. Shu meets Ayano in the park and discusses the huge caterpillar that a worker at the station has turned into. At the auction, new information comes in that the devil's disaster has consumed the energy core, so it must be taken out of the monster intact to power the poor part of the island. The liquidation operation begins. The perimeter is unhooked and the devil is frozen with special shells, but this activated a new form of the devil and he turned into a butterfly, then began to fly around the station shooting beams from his wings. The situation gets out of control and the couple is allowed to act to destroy the devil. As they dialogue, it becomes clear that for the activation of Kazara's abilities the guy pays with his own memories and does not remember much. The girl saved Ayano at the very moment when death seemed inevitable. After a small collision with the devil she managed to open the monster's core. The boy hit the core with 2 accurate shots, thus defeating the devil's scourge. Warning, at the end of the episode we are shown some of the memories that Shu has lost. Unbelievable. After clearing the warehouses of the devil's disaster, Ayano remembers that she saw this guy before with a man. They finally have money for food, but there's still no light, but they're not used to it. Kazara takes a picture to post online. The next day they meet Ayano, a special agent of the Counter-Devil Bureau, who tells the couple about the arrest of one of the mafia members who decided to use the devil's scourge to fight another group. They are here to find the man with whom the mob member had contacted a few days ago. The agent receives a call that the suspect was killed in the hospital before he could tell the bureau anything. Ayano and Shu learn that the criminal who was about to kill the measure also had contact with the mysterious man before becoming a devilish disaster. The bureau finds the lair of the group that may have been involved in the suspect's death, but inside everyone has already gone to a better world. Kazara meets Ayano and admits that she absorbs the guy's memories to gain power, and not surprisingly the guy no longer remembers their life together. The guy is willing to give up all his memories in exchange for finding the devil behind the murder of his family. 12 years ago, there was an explosion on the seabed in the world's largest mine. In this mine was Shu along with his family. Among more than 50 people, only the boy survived. The society branded Shu a traitor and the one who brought the devils into this world. And now the guy wants to know the truth to clear the good name of his parents and find the culprit of the incident. The bureau manages to establish the identity of the mysterious man and they go to him. When they enter his apartment, they find a lot of cuts and a breathless body on a slashed couch. Shu comes to Ayano, who is hiding from the vengeance of a devilish scourge in a hangar. After a brief romantic conversation they reminisce about the past, and then a monster appears from a puddle of water on the floor to kill Ayano. Kazara appears next and is angry at Ayano for what she and Shu were doing. Kazara kisses Shu, activating his devil form and taking in return the memories of her and Ayano talking hours ago. Together they manage to disarm the monster.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
A pretty nun shows up in town looking for Kazara. He found her in a cave chained in stone, and she was about to kill him until he told her that he had come to make a contract because he needed the girl's strength. The nun comes to Ayano's mother in search of Kazara, but she is in no hurry to tell her about the girl, as she is under their protection. The nun is about to use her conversational skills, but Ayano rushes in just in time and a small fight ensues. It turns out that the nun knows Shu and takes Ayano's phone and runs away. She comes to visit her longtime lover, but it seems that the guy does not remember her at all, which is not surprising. Kazara comes to the rescue and we learn a little more about Shu and Kazara's first meeting. In that cave there was also a nun who followed the guy to kill the monster. She managed to imprison her back. However, that night when they were actively discussing the fight with the devil, the nun was about to kill the guy, but he was faster and poisoned her with poison, returned to Kazara and they left together. Ayano and a squad of soldiers rush to the girl and the nun has to retreat. She arrives at the ship, which has prepared uniforms specifically for the destruction of the devil's scourge. They meet Kazara again to settle the score, but this time the nun is wearing a special suit with much more power than before and Kazara seems to be in big trouble. Shu from the hospital runs to the girl and activates her power. Feeling Shu's love, the girl defeats the nun. The special agents gather at Shu's apartment to discuss what has happened in recent days. During their secret meeting, Ayano, one of the suspects in the devil's work, drops by. Of course there is a love triangle scandal. A guy visits a nun in prison to ask about the devil's impending calamity. At the bureau, a detective who wanted to help Sayo find out the truth was shot dead before telling Sayo everything. At the scene of the crime, a mysterious man was caught reporting the devilish calamity to the couple so they could win the auction and take the money for themselves. This is the son of the mayor who is the head of the police department. They come to City Hall where there is a hidden tracking system for all the people of the island and even his sister in the shower, all for the safety of the city of course. Oh my god, he even collected browser histories, phone records, poor lonely guys. There they want to find out who the detective's killer is, but he's standing with his back to the camera causing them to be unable to determine his identity. After the detective's funeral, Shu is picked up by an old acquaintance who raised him after his parents died. This is the man who arrived at the sites of devil disasters first, with several victims of devilization some time before the disaster met with him. So the guy's convinced he killed the detective because he found out the truth. They talk about the events of the day when Shu lost his parents. The thing is that he has a daughter who was very sick and so he had to make a contract with the devil to make her well. He turns into a devil scourge, the nun that Shu released earlier and Ayano try to defeat him but they are too weak. Shu sacrifices all the memories of him, the man who became his foster father after his parents died, and defeats the devil scourge. Kazara then watches the memories of the man, where he learns that Shu's mother is the main devil and Shu's sister is still alive as the devil's child. He had to push people to stack the contract with the devil so that his daughter and Shu can live. Shu's mother, or rather the devil who became Shu's mother, lived with the strongest exorcist so she wouldn't be destroyed, and by getting a devil child and a human she got what she needed for the ritual of opening the gate between the human world and the devil world. There is a conflict between the government and Ayano's mother's organization, as the government is afraid of the devil's rebirth, and Shu wants to save her sister, who is the key to the devil's rebirth. Kazara and the nun find sister Shu imprisoned in a mine. The mayor's son decides to destroy Kazara along with Shu's sister to prevent the apocalypse and uses his secret weapon, a deadly beam from the space station. Only it's too old to do the expected damage, but this beam awakens the sealed devil inside Shu's sister, who gets out to the surface. Kazara seems about to lose to the strongest devil, but then Shu appears and saves her. Kanna pierces Kazara with a spear, and when she touches it, Kazara sees what her loving sister has had to look at for over 12 years. She is unable to kill the last person dear to Shu, but her sister is happy to hit Kazara so that she loses consciousness. A cosmic ray strikes the devil and she too falls into the ocean without strength. When Kazara comes to her senses, Shu offers her a new contract to get more devil power and to fight devils faster at the cost of her own memories. The guy deliberately gives her little time to read the new contract, but Kazara keeps reading it and corrects it so that Kazara gives all her memories and those taken from Shu back to him. When the ritual ends, Kazara has no memory of who she is, who Shu is, or what's even going on. Guy takes the monster-destroying sword, buys a jet board. While she's being attacked by regular soldiers, she has no intention of attacking back. But as soon as she is attacked by Shu's ex-girlfriend, she immediately starts attacking. Finally Shu reaches the battle site and saves Ayano from being killed. A nun joins them and explains to her friend that Kanna is chasing all the girls that Shu had, as the poor sister has had to watch his precious brother being hugged and kissed by different girls for 12 years so that he would have something to eat. The battle between the harem and Kanna begins. They seem to be missing another pair of hands, so they are joined by Kazara who, though she doesn't remember anything, acts on the call of her heart. They perform the ritual again and Kazara takes on the devil's form. Together the pair exorcise the devil from Kanna's body and seal her power. The sister comes to her senses and all ends well. Good for the girls, but not for poor Shu, who has another loving problem. Now the three of them will have to get along in one small apartment. This is the end of the anime. Thank you all for watching.